well, but sort of the third course of the game was taken by Paradigm. Really came through with a vengeance after sort of getting smacked by Wheelix for a lot of the time.
So I think it's really important that Titan has first pick in this game because they really need to leave, I think, Ao Kuang open and first pick it because they really, really need to ban out Ratatasker and Geb.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's been so effective for the boys over on Paradigm. So, like, you know, they're going to give up something really nasty. They'll give up, you know, Freya, Sylvanas, Bellona, something like that. Maybe even we'll see, I mean, who knows? There's lots of high priority picks right now. But, like, if they don't have that first pick position and they can't force Paradigm into banning the Ao Kuang, like, it's going to be really tough for them.
It is really tough. I mean, coming into this situation when you have three things that you want to ban, Reels, how does this thought process really go?
I mean, I had a little chat with them outside, and obviously I can't give everything away, but I think they got
them being Titan or them being Paradigm?
Paradigm.
Okay.
I think they got a pretty solid plan. I spoke to Fred, and I think he knows that they're not going to let him have the rat again, and he had something in mind, so...
That's exciting.
We'll see how it works out.
So now Paradigm with the thought of, do we ban Ares or Ratatasker? Ratatasker left available, likely to go the way of Titan. Yeah, I can't imagine a world in which they don't pick it.
And the thing is, if they do take it, which obviously they did there, maybe they can deal with the Geb on his own without the rat. It was the Geb rat combo that was the problem, but we'll find out.
Maybe they take Geb Kali here though.
Yeah,
which is a really astounding matchup if you can get it drafted. Also, it's kind of, you know, Repicos has been doing really well for Titan on all of his gods. So it's like they almost are giving up something by first picking Ratatasker, right? It's almost purely a counter pick because Repi's shown that his god pool is really good and really large. He's very good with all of them. But Giannis Freya selected for Paradigm here outright.
It's obviously going to be a Geb pick here, you would expect.
Yeah, a little surprisingly, they don't take the Geb now, as Titan almost assuredly will take that and give Paradigm a taste of their own medicine.
Titan, they've got two picks here, so they can pick up Geb as well as something else.
Geb on her.
Geb on her?
Should be Geb on her. Based on the matchup knowledge Reels is providing about that Freya matchup, I can't imagine that you want anything else except for Rom if you want to look to like really late game, but you have Ratatasker to kind of shore that up with a crit build. If he's going to be going into the jungle, I guess this could still be Ataraxia's god, but it doesn't seem to fit his playstyle that well.
How about Reels, Kronos against Freya in the dual lane?
Kronos against Freya. It's a weird one, really, because Freya comes online a lot quicker than Kronos. That's the problem.
Wow. They left the Geb open again!
Instantaneously locked by the guys.
How do you feel about, I mean, Athena Medusa, they picked this lane before. It did okay. They got some good map pressure out of it. It didn't win the game for them necessarily. But, I mean, you can see how effective Athena plus Ratatasker could be.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, with the Athena Medusa lane they had last time, I felt like it was more Fumble's bad positioning. I mean, he's a great player, but I think that game he had a little bit of bad positioning and a little bit of bad plays. So I think that's where their lead came from. So if Fumble is, I mean, this is a god he's a lot more comfortable with, and they have the Geb as well. So if they're not getting that pressure like they had before in that dual lane, they could maybe even fall behind here, and this could be rough.
Saw Keeler Fred's reaction to the Circuit ban coming out. It looked like they weren't even intending to pick that there. He was kind of like, okay, sweet. And they will take the Kali indeed and lock it in for Paradigm. They also do have the final pick of this picking phase, but Kali going to Cuba Fred for the second time in this best of 5.
I really don't know if they can let him have Afro again.
I don't think so. I mean, but can Titan pick it in this situation? They'll be so damage anemic if they take an Aphrodite here.
Right. I mean, see Paradigm, I was not questioning, but I was looking at concernedly the Aphrodite pick because there wasn't a Kali Freya. There wasn't those hyper carries that we see in this lineup. It was successful even without these characters. Now with these characters on board, this is where Aphrodite belongs. So Paradigm, I would definitely expect to see it out of Xayah one more time.
Oh, Old Bay coming through. Neath, that's going to go to Ataraxia in the soul lane, and Scylla locked in for Pretty Prime as well. This is a really, really nasty lineup. I mean, a one Neath arrow sets up a I'm a monster, and it's pretty much all over from there. What will Paradigm do to respond? They do have Geb already on the table to help deal with some of that global CC options, and they'll take Wukong for Xayah. This I really like. With the double hunters coming out, his ability to disrupt their positioning in the fights is really, really great.
It's the opposite of what I would have expected. It's going to work out great, as you mentioned, but last lineup, I would have said Sun Wukong would have been great. Right. This lineup, I would have said Aphrodite's great.
Really great.
Xayah, consistently going against the grain, but like cutting a good steak, it works out well for him.
But I think there's something to the non-Aphrodite pick here, right? Like, Ratatasker can stick to Aphrodite, and there's really nothing she can do about it, right? Athena can run her down really easily. Neath, obviously, and Scylla, both with those long-range roots, are very, very good against Aphrodite, where Sun Wukong, he laughs at your CC.
He laughs at everything.
He's a very experienced solo laner as well, and I think he knew they picked the Neath first. So I think they know it's Neef solo, and he's picked Sun Wukong into it. So I think obviously he's going to have a fine laning phase there as well.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like a mystical mail game to me, though. I think we're going to see the Rune Forged build coming out here.
Sun Wukong has, and
although, I mean, who knows?
We could see the shifter shield again. You know, Xayah, as I said, consistently going against the grain. Again, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the game that I commentated during the summer split. I said, hey man, you know, Sun Wukong is a distractor. He's here to really cause chaos and disrupt, and Xayah would never let me forget that he got top damage in that game. So I think we're going to see a very aggressive play coming out from Xayah on the Sun Wukong.
That's fake damage. That's Brandon damage.
Like Vulcan damage?
Yeah. Fake damage.
Just fake.
It's just mystical mail, right?
It will be Ataraxia on the Neath going up against the solo Wukong. And this is what we were talking about with Titan. When they originally brought out this lane swap, it was because the Neath and other hunters were so popular in the solo. Things have sort of changed around Reels, but still bringing the Neath out there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like Ataraxia's picking into the solo lane just for early game pressure, you know, and when it comes to time for the solo lanes to rotate and join the team fights, Xayah's doing so much more. Gets
there faster and is able to accomplish more. Yeah. Another thing is here, as you look at it, you see the red pot picks up from Xayah to load out here in that solo lane with the Death's Toll. I mean, Jigabang just clears really fast with all that bonus power. It's you know, that's kind of Neath's ability to clear the wave and almost, you know, that kind of reverse clear where you backflip to kill the wave and then shoot the next one coming in. It's really effective, but it's Sun Wukong, right? Not only is he tankier than you, he can clear maybe 20% slower than you. Like, it's just not going to be that big of an issue for him.
And the Neath's obviously gone for the Transcendence build here, unless she's going into Heartseeker. I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
So she's not going to have that much sustain in lane. I mean, she's got the sustain from the Death's Toll, and she's got the sustain from her 2 as well. But with the Sun Wukong with red pots, it might not be enough to deal with it.
Right, and I think without throwing shade at Ataraxia's way, I think this is just experience. Xayah has been playing in the solo lane since the solo lane existed, quite frankly, and Ataraxia, a newer player to the solo lane, primarily a hunter player during his time in competitive Smite. So that experience, that veteranship that Xayah has in the solo lane, it's what brings the confidence out to, yeah, I'm going to buy a red pot and play against the Neath in the solo.
It's also essential to point out that Heartseeker is no longer really viable as a farming item here, and that Neath really, really enjoyed a really spectacular time with that item. And yeah, so I mean, he's going for that Transcendence build-up with the Death's Toll. There's a Transcendence also on Medusa. If Titan, you know, is dominant through this early game here, they're going to have a tremendous amount of power in the mid game once those Aussies come out on top of it. But, I mean, it's a very greedy start for them.
It is, yeah.
We'll see the team start to get in lane. Buffs have been done in the jungle. Confrey by himself here. Athena has not yet made it, and Frey and Geb will actually figure that out. They're going to force Kanye Life all the way around the long way, and while doing so, Trixtank will drop the ward in the enemy jungle. So all of Titan's movements in that back left jungle will be known by the enemy team.
Also, no first blood at like second 0 this time with the Kali. You know, Kali's gotten off to a great start. I mean, just farming away happily, doing his thing, level 4, you know, and only really needs to be only needs to really get boots and like, you know, half of your chin size online to have, you know, a reasonable amount of kill potential if other people are setting up that kill for you.
Yeah, the chin size do so much with the short attack chain of Kali, and that's really where she makes a name for herself with that item. It's a hard on-off switch. Is the chin size is step 1, Fatalis is step 2, and watch out.
Kanye Life dashing through the wave, just to clear it a bit faster with Confrey. And yeah, the clear advantage is to the favor of Titan here. Medusa just such an efficient lane clearer, but with the Geb shield, they should be able to tank up this wave, no problem outside of the tower, and successfully prevent themselves from losing too much gold to the tower shots.
And actually, Ataraxia was pushing him pretty heavily into the tower here, so kind of unexpected. Maybe that's why he's gone for the red pot. He knew he was going to get outpushed.
Outpushed?
At the end of the day, it is a Neath.
Yeah, and there's the kind of that reverse farming we were talking about there. It's kind of an awkward term.
Help is coming, right-hand side. Kali trying to surprise the Neath. Already low health, and the backflip is down. Jingo bang, says Xayah. That's first blood for the side of Paradigm.
Perfect. Made the gold back from his pot there as well. So yeah, a great start from him.
And it kind of has, as I was just saying, like, you know, you use the backflip to farm the wave really, really efficiently, but then sometimes you die when Kali rotates in, and guess what? All of the boxes are being checked now for Kali to carry the hell out of this game. It's really as simple as that. Oh my. Oh, so close, but the Neath ultimate going to follow as well. No, it looked like he was CC. Oh, no, he's fine.
Yeah.
It's going to stop that back a little awkwardly and delay it, and maybe can get a little bit of damage on this mid push here as well, can Titan. But no, they're going to actually sneak around and look for that right side mid camp. But Kali gets involved in a kill early on and doesn't die is all that you need to have a successful mid game on this character.
And you have to remember, if Titan lose this game, they're out of the series. So
that's right, yeah,
getting off to a bad start could
point.
really affect their morale here.
And it's also the first game so far in the set that they haven't gotten the first blood. Maybe that is going to be to their benefit somehow.
Might be a little bit rough as we see the teams doing the dance. Paradigm will make their way back to lane. Lobster walks in after suffering some problems, but the enemy team walking immediately away. Titan just clearing their jungle. No jungle pressure from Paradigm just yet. As we keep mentioning, Kali is later in the game. You're not going to see early game pressure from her just yet outside of the super obvious kills like Neath after a jump.
I think it's pretty smart as well to kind of bait out, hard to call it a bait, but to kind of leave open Ratatasker and leave it so tantalizingly there for Titan, because Ratatasker also is not a very early game oriented god. He's really much more mid game oriented. He can scale okay into late game, not a super carry, kind of hyper carry.
Right.
And that, you know, if they would have had, like, say, obviously this has been banned out, but if they had something like an Amir jungle or even, hell, even like Mercury, right, they could really go and fight that Kali, right? They could have maybe helped shut her down, but with a Ratatasker, they both are farming, and, well, the rocket ship goes a lot faster, a lot higher for the Kali.
Scylla, on the other hand, going to do that work on the side of late game for Titan. Scylla, the opposite of an early game god. Abysmal clear, not anything good. But once she gets going online, I mean, the I'm a Monster has deicide potential at any point in time, depending on how accurate and how much setup there is on your side. So that is the thing that can change this at a moment's notice.
That's like what we try to say about Scylla. I mean, Scylla is actually a very, very good early game god. She is a very poor laner.
Yes.
Her ability to fight as an early game god at level 5 is as good as there is in Smite, but her ability to lane is pretty difficult. Unlike something like a Chronos, it actually does have a bad laning stage and a bad early game. Scylla brings a little bit more confidence to the table in the first 15 minutes.
Taking a look at how Confrey and Kanye are doing. Medusa coming into this lane, comparing to the Freya. She's about a level up, maybe half a level actually when we get down to it. 300 gold, which is not going to mean too much, but it is something to look at. Repicos, level 7. Kali has been more exciting in the early game than Ratatasker has been, and I think that's an issue for Titan.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And also want to point out here, Sun Wukong has gone for the Runeforge build-up.
Yep.
Once again, I find another small victory in commentary.
And Ataraxis has gone back to lane. He still hasn't got his Transcendence online. The last thing you want when you're trying to build that item is to get first blooded.
It's so expensive.
Yeah, it is really expensive. And coming into the mid-game team fights, when the solo lanes start rotating, I really think that Zayla's going to be doing a lot more in the team fights here for them.
Should also point out that Ataraxis fired his ultimate into the mid lane there onto Lobster, thinking the team was going to try to aggress, and the call was made to actually back off there, so that Neath ultimate going to be down now and open up the map a bit for Paradigm, trying to maybe make a big play and dive a little bit deeper than perhaps they would normally. Of course, they also do have that Geb to kind of go along with that expected playstyle now that Neath ultimate is down. But over in the left side lane, haven't checked in there in some time, happily farming away are both Funballer and Confrey. No one really sitting on that big of an advantage at this point. A couple hundred gold to the side of Confrey and a Transcendence finished.
It's always amusing when you're on the, well, I was going to say the wrong side of the Neath ultimate, but the haphazard Neath ult that comes out right before the call to retreat, and you're the guy getting ulted. You just sit there, what?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Long range poke.
Player damage.
Yeah, gotta get that player damage.
Gotta boost those stats. How do you think you won MVP?
Yeah. It doesn't matter about stats, it's just player damage, as Zeros would say.
Did you see how much damage I did?
Yeah. 0 to 15, but top player damage.
Yeah. Sounds
Thanatos is awesome, guys, I promise.
Sounds about right. Left-hand side of the map, we're taking a look along with the Hunters one more time. Confrey clearing the way.
Let's take a look at the mid here. As it looks like there's going to be an engagement moving in. I'm a Monster coming over the top, but off the mark from Pretty Prime. Rat doing a decent amount of damage, but Kali putting the shots in onto Pretty Prime. Athena ultimate trying to do enough. Hubert Fred unable to secure it now. He's in some trouble as Ratatasker is going to make the play onto him. Giannis ultimate is there, and Fred goes bye-bye. Ratatasker unable to close the distance there, and, well, Geb plus Giannis means they're going to be able to really move this Kali around effectively.
Team player Giannis.
Yeah.
Open up the Holland Tunnel right there for his friend, the jungler, to walk right on through. No problems. Clean and clear out of there. And that's another win for Paradigm.
I mean, if you posit that Aphrodite plus Kali is kind of the best combination you can have with that god.
Yeah.
I mean, the next two in line have got to be Giannis and Geb. Right? Giannis providing that bonus movement speed and the big slow, the ability to bail her out of trouble, as well as provide some CC in those fights. And then, of course, Geb and Stone Shield and everything that it does for temporary HP and removing of CC. Confrey forced to dash away. Funballer, a little bit of a misplay there, actually, I think, to throw the banish. Should have tried to maybe bait that out of the dash. But was looking for a little bit more guaranteed damage, maybe not thinking they had much kill potential at all.
Reppy's here, but Paradigm isn't. And so he will just be hanging out just a little bit. This time around, it's actually very interesting. This is one of the first times that we're seeing Replicas even with Cuvo Fred. Despite Replicas doing very, very well, Cuvo Fred keeps eking out a lead with respect to experience. This time around, they're both even.
Can we take a look at gold in hand, please? Let's see how close Kali is to getting it. Oh my. She is very close to her chin size now. Just what, about 100 and 200 gold away, perhaps?
Yeah, a couple more camps. If this winds up into being a... Nope. A couple more camps, and we'll probably see the back to pick up the chins. That'll be a big spike pre-10 minutes for the Kalima.
Yeah, that's a great pickup here. She's going to go back and go ahead and grab that one now. Actually, I think she had plenty of gold to bid it. Yeah, she had plenty. Even enough maybe for a pot. Yeah, waiting in the well, maybe. Gonna pick something up here. Yeah, no, it's a Sentry Ward. 135 big ones for a Sentry Ward there out of QF Fred, so he had plenty of gold there. And his shin size plus attack speed boots are online. You already saw he nearly had enough DPS to kill Pretty Prime in that last engagement with a bit of CC. He definitely has it now.
Yep.
It's gonna be very, very scary. I mean, when the Kali comes when the Kali comes online, you hit tab as the enemy team. What preparations are you making for the Kali?
This could be a huge kill. Cubo Fred isolated out here. The ultimate coming through from Giannis as well to try to bail out Cubo Fred. Cubo pops his beads, gets the stone shield as well. I'm a monster off the mark. Struggling with that one. This game is Pretty Prime. Crush going to hit 2. Ratatasker ultimate force out as well. Titan unable to capitalize off of Paradigm, leaving their carry isolated.
Yeah, great ultimate there from Lobster. He recognised that Cubo Fred was going to be caught out of position there. Fired the ultimate to get the team fight started straight away so they could engage first and not let Cubo Fred take a ton of damage before anything happened.
Taunt coming out. Lobster, he's going to need a crush as well, but the Stone Shield once again. Trix Tank just proving how valuable this is, and I think Titan may be kicking themselves for letting it through the draft.
There's a Medusa in the air, and in the mid lane there's going to be more aggression. Confrey able to zigzag out of it, but Cubo Fred won't let him. Neither will Funball. Hailing from the sky, the Valkyrie gets the kill for that one. There's a Ratatasker trying to cause chaos just like Cubo, but
you saw
not
Reppy
able.
there. Actually had a hard time deciding what target he wanted to go on.
Yeah.
Had the acorns out and dashed through, probably could have killed Kali, but got kind of tunnel visioned on a different target and ended up missing her with all the acorns and not finding much damage there. And again, you see it happen again there, in fact. Just off the mark, and Lobster surviving.
These Geb shields
all by
really
himself.
now.
Dash.
Sorry, say again?
These Geb shields are getting really annoying for Titan. This is the second game now where so many times they've got some sort of hard CC and they could have definitely got a kill off it, and Geb shield denied.
Yeah, it's also worth pointing out, it's a little bit... It's kind of strange here. At the 11-minute mark, look how few actives we have on the board.
Just beads. Beads and blinks.
Just beads and blinks, yeah. And even one of those just purchased as well, so...
I just find it really strange that they didn't pick it.
Didn't pick the Geb. No. Right, picked the Athena Medusa over it.
Yeah,
you know...
They could have taken away the Geb and the Freya
That suggests to me that they're having to pick around Confrey. That they feel that they need to pick certain combinations for him to really excel, and he's a Medusa player. I mean, obviously that's purely conjecture, but... It seems a little bit like that, you know, that for them to go after that after seeing how effective Geb was, banning it out of the game prior to that to not let Trix Tank have it. I'm sorry, pick it themselves so that Trix Tank couldn't have it. Then to give it away for, Fred. Yeah.
Cubo smoked out by the Replicas, and he's still here. But him and Araxia will walk away. Zelia just... The Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, able to chase away.
It's definitely not where he wants to go. In some regards, Neith is the natural predator to Kali, right? She has that route to kind of make her life really difficult to close the distance, and she has that long-range ultimate to kind of seal the deal once destruction ends.
And the attack speed slow.
Right, and that big attack speed slow to really make Kali's day just extra bad. Funballer with the final shot there of his steroids, able to secure that kill on Medusa. That's a nice pickup for them. They hadn't killed her really in a position for Ball to continue farming yet this game. So he's going to enjoy now a bit of an experience and gold advantage. Paradigm not willing to go for the Gold Fury there, and they may have had an opportunity with the Still I'm a Monster down as well as the Hunter, and Lobster barely gets out of that one alive.
That was an interesting interaction. We saw Giannis go through the portal, but he was still technically under the Athena taunt, so he was walking
back when he got through. Yeah, life is hard. But Lobster, you know, good news for Paradigm here is it appears that Lobster got all of his deaths out of the way in game number 1. He's really played just some really, really nice conservative mid lane ever since then.
And he made a great rotation over to that purple buff there. He was there way before the Scylla. Obviously, it's Janus, but he was there a lot earlier than the Scylla and made a huge impact. They managed to kill the Medusa before the Scylla even got there.
Well, boss being taken here by Titan, and well, anytime you see 4-man farming of your own jungle, you know how the map control has been going. Paradigm definitely enjoying a lot of room for their Kali to farm, and Well, Titan's making this one maybe a little bit harder on themselves.
With all that said, though, Bart, it's a tie game.
It is.
Paradigm is leading by
That's what the
800
stats say,
gold?
but
the momentum is in a very different world.
I mean, four kills in 13, 14 minutes when you have a farming Kali. I mean, it's just like you need a faster paced game. And you really want a fast paced game up against a Kali that has all of this support. Sun Wukong for tremendous peel, Geb for tier 1, A1 peel. Funballer to banish, Lobster to banish.
You want the game Titan had in game 1.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that was the dream against Kali.
Yes. That is what you go to bed thinking at night when your opponent picks up the Kali.
But I mean, every time that you're like, oh, let me just farm a little more, let me get that next item, eventually you look up and Kali's got Shinsai's Fatalis Executioner, and all of a sudden, you can't fight her ever.
Yeah. She's just going to tear you to shreds. And look, has she picked up actives yet? We've got a Beads. That leaves room for a Blink or a Heavenly
Kali
Agility.
Ataraxia taking the burst, the dot on him as well. They're going to go deep here. Tiger Sun to hit, yes, and down you will go. Cubo Fred credited with a kill to draw even at 1-1 with 2 assists. And continuing to stay involved is, well, your boy Cubo, who's showing us he can do it in a couple different ways. Kali and Ratatasker.
The Janus ult went over there just to make sure they didn't get counter-initiated on, to make sure his team could get there before.
Oh, here comes Ratatasker. There's 3 here in blue and 4 here in red. Paradigm looking very, very strong. In comes the 4th is Confrey. Medusa all the way from the dual lane. Chasing the Kali is the Athena. Up in the air is Zelia, and he should provide some distance.
Ratatasker, yeah, that's a free kill, but can Reppy find his way out of here now? Going to use the Acorns dashing through. A bit of damage on the Lobster. Lobster going to portal away, and they're just going to run from the Rat, it looks like here. Funball missing that banish. Athena moving forward. She finds a taunt, but immediately bees out. Kanye Life is here. He puts the dash out onto Funballer for the slow. Ultimate. Over the top of a monster. Second of a monster is there. Pretty Prime finds himself a nice double. The threat of that Ataraxia ultimate. Yeah, that's exactly what they need. A ton of momentum. They'll be able to pick up some nice buffs here. A tier 1 on the right side if they want it. A Fire Giant if they're feeling especially cheeky, but I don't think they have the damage at 15 minutes. They're just going to try for a bit of chip away here at the tier 1 right, but with Sun Wukong rallying back there, they may not be able to push it through.
Yeah, good job by Replicast there to dive in on the backline. He recognized that he could go in, picked up the Kali, started pressuring the Janus, started pressuring the Geb, and set up the Scylla ultimates.
Cheeky whoop coming out onto Scylla, but with the Athena ult coming in, I don't know if this is a smart play for Frey to be here. The Gold Fury will go down, and Titan will turn their sights onto the Valkyrie, but she'll jump into the air, and Funball will be safe purely by Titan's decision to allow her to be safe.
Good ultimate there to avoid the taunt as well.
Yeah, able to get himself out of it, but does use his beads there early on in that engagement, so still 100 seconds onto Kali as well as Freya now. Just under 2 minutes for both of them.
Mid-camp's being cleared by the solo laner, making his way here. This is Ataraxia.
Instead, somehow it's Paradigm that comes away with the tier 1 tower after losing a big team fight on the right side. Of course, I do give up the Gold Fury back to Titan, but able to mitigate some of that, especially this early on in the game with that 1 tower.
Well, folks, we are 16 minutes in. It feels a lot later than it actually is. There's been a number of deaths, 4 kills on either side of the coin, and 38,000 gold all for both Titan and Paradigm. We're in game number 4. 2 games on the side of Paradigm. They need this next one to take it out. Titan, they lose, they go home. If they win, they stretch it out to a game 5. This is a best of 5 here at our Summer Finals presented by Curse Voice, and we're here in the semifinals.
Fatalis now complete for Kali, sitting at level 14, keeping pace with the enemy jungler, not pulling ahead too much. Experience advantage looks like it's maybe slightly in favor of Titan here as we get closer and closer to that 17-minute mark. Gold Fury really the only thing that's separating these teams at all, only about 500 gold to that point, in fact. Aegis is now out for Lobster as well, so you can see his team encouraging him to itemize deeper and deeper into defensive items. We actually heard them joking about it outside, that Lobster should load out with Vampiric Shroud and 2 actives every game. But I think we're seeing, kind of the actual non-hyperbolized version of that coming true here.
Right. I mean, it just makes that much sense. Gianna's very, very safe to get away, but you need to put yourself in a position to actually get through the portal. Beads and Aegis are going to stretch the time just enough to allow Giannis to find his escape route.
Well, I think they recognise as well, if the Scylla hits another couple of ultimates like that, it could spell disaster for Paradigm here.
Oh, yeah. Pretty Prime's, that's what he does.
Yeah, they just want to avoid that as much as possible.
Clearing out this blue buff here. It's old Ataraxia and Replicas just happily farming away. That tier 1's not there anymore. Ataraxia, it's kind of a boon and a bane when you lose that tier 1. It gives you a little bit more freedom to move around the map. You don't feel quite as pressured. It's much harder to aggress into a tier 2. But at the same time, not enjoying the farm that Sun Wukong is with the safety of his tier 1 there.
Mid lane, I mean, this is a quiet matchup here in the mid lane. Really not too much going on, but Titan staying as a group, and I think that's important for them. Kali, she's picked, or she's looking for a pick. Kali will take on anyone 1v1. It's going to go her way. So Titan, as you see on your minimap, grouped up as a unit. Really not able to be picked if you're all together.
Yeah, the Ratataska's seen some really nice play so far in this set. It seemed a little bit more effective on QO so far over Repicos, but Repi, a couple of really nice calls to make it to the back line.
Well, you never know. Late game, he could do some really good plays. I mean, at the moment, he's playing very conservative. He's biding his time very well. He's got a good couple of kills so far and doing well for himself.
Yeah, he's getting to the point now where he has actual kill potential under the Kali if he finds it, or at least able to force out that ultimate. And that's really what I'm looking for at a Repi, is to go kind of hunting and find that Kali, force out some ultimates, and force her to slow down just a bit so that the team can find... You know, I feel like that for Titan, the key to victory here is keeping Kali occupied and taking 3 or 4 towers here now through the mid game and kind of shutting on the map and you know, kind of trying to keep that 75% map control and really only letting her have access to her back camps in the red and the orange buff and really taking away those outside buff farm opportunities, the mid lane especially.
There's going to be a lot that Kanye Life needs to do here as well. His taunts are going to be ineffective a lot of this game if they get Geb shielded or beads or something like that. If he can keep track and tell his team, especially Asilla, when it's going to be a guaranteed taunt, that can set up a lot for them, you know? Yeah,
indeed. I mean, and so they've taken that. I mean, it's a very much... The team kind of lives and dies by the Athena taunt, right? The Medusa Ultimates is kind of precluded by it, as is that Scylla I'm a Monster coming over the top as well. And, you know, in the same regard, that's also why I believe they've picked Neath here. Same kind of setup.
When they was at the blue bluff over there on the right side, he actually blinked in with Athena and got the double taunt. And I'm not sure whether he knew something, the Geb shield was down or their bead was down. He maybe communicated that to Asilla, or maybe the Asilla knew, and they got 2 huge kills off that.
Yeah, I think what happened is that so Trix actually thought that Ataraxia was a lot closer in the lane than he was when he fired off that ultimate, and he put the Stone Shield out early onto the target, and then it wasn't available later on. You see Funballer, Stone Shield of his own there as the ultimate's going to come through. Hopefully that doesn't expire. No, this time it does not expire. In fact, it is tanked up by Geb. Trix, such a kind guy. Walla, walla, walla.
One more time, that Neath ult just not used when Titan needs it to be used. It's immediately used. It's used right after the team disengages, which is going to be a problem. I mean, Titan needs to make use of that long-range stun.
Yeah, I think they've recognized now that it's really going to be too hard for them to fight over in the dual lane like that with this Janus ultimate.
Oh, they're going to try it anyway. Here we go. The ultimate's going to come out. Yeah. Oh,
ouch. Oof. Beautiful.
Yeah, that was...
There's nothing.
Yeah, nothing left there. Nothing left in the tank for poor Funballer. You saw a little smirk on his face. He kind of knew just how bad that one was. Kanye Life actually dashing forward aggressively with the team behind him here, and now they're going to find Lobster. Maybe miscommunication there. No, Lobster's like, wait, I'm Giannis. Actually, I'm just going to.
I can walk through the wall, and he does exactly that. Find safety underneath his tier 2, but unfortunately, all of that space is going to give Titan some.
I think this is an opportune time to check in with Titan's comms through the Cursed Voice. Listen in as Gold Fury is coming back up, and they're aggressing the tier 1 on the left side.
Alright, you go. It's going to play out as Wukong will rotate, and I will stay on the tower, so really better than mine.
Yeah,
He doesn't have TP.
Yeah, it's fine.
Here, look for... They just sentry there.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna beat Golden, so Wukong rotates over, and then we're gonna drop it, and we get right tower.
Okay, I'm gonna back you guys. They see me. I'm gonna go draw.
Okay. They have a sentry here. Most likely there's sentry here and here.
Backing sentry stab again.
Normal on the gold.
Wukong got shit at the end
back soon as well, though.
Okay.
I'm back.
I'm seeing nades in a second.
Yeah, you can. Win mid.
Set up around. Yeah, we should get another goal there.
They have sentry on Freya. Jan is here.
Coming mid. I'm coming mid.
Ev is here.
Yeah, I see his threshold.
I have 3 people there though.
Killing
Rat is back in turn.
I'm backing here, but I'll be back very, very soon.
Okay.
We should look for gold here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have snipe and the Wukong has no TP.
Our red
We can sentry up here, but Freya can rotate. Get red first.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not a red.
I'm gonna back to base and get a Titan spin. I'll need to wait like 10
Person
seconds.
Yeah. You can try to.
Sniper's ready.
Sentry's there in gold.
Janus mid.
I'm centering up here.
I'm coming. Can you push and rotate? Rotate.
Yeah, I'm rotating. I'm here.
Look for poke. Get poke. He has no shield.
I'm gonna take wave.
Looking for Freya.
I'm losing wave.
Oh shit. Okay.
I heard Janus portal.
Going mid. Okay. Let's look for get poke. Let's look for get poke.
Do you want me to snipe?
Taunted,
Yeah,
taunted.
Yeah,
Snipe.
No, it's on
Okay,
Wukong.
the Janus
Wukong
ulted,
coming.
Janus
Wukong
ulted,
coming.
he's dead.
Can we back off
I'm
together?
Watch
ulting
for
now.
Wukong. Watch for Wukong.
He's
Yeah,
outside.
okay.
Just
Shove
shield a
right,
bit,
shove
shield a
right.
bit.
Just go shove waves, go shove waves now.
Shield
I
and
don't
two.
see
see
Wukong here.
I'm going left, I'm
I'm
going
going
left.
left. I'm going left.
Be careful mid, be careful mid.
Oh, we can look for
Yeah.
Prograb.
Look for Freya.
No,
Okay,
no,
okay.
no.
Taunted,
Cube
taunted.
by mid,
He
cube by
beats,
mid.
he beats. You
Cube
can keep
here.
the damage.
Let's drive me camp.
Janus and Kali there.
That's fine.
Can you just get
Get
gold
base
here?
down. Can we get gold now?
Yeah, I'm centering gold.
Centering up here.
Wukong on right.
So
Wukong right.
really
Kali
look
there.
to
Look for
Taunt
Kali
Freya
here,
next time.
look
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Kali.
yeah.
For
That's
Taunt
fine.
on
She
Freya.
dashed down.
I'm rotating,
Start,
I'm
start
rotating.
gold, start gold.
I've got
Okay,
this.
we're
We're
looking
ready to go on
fight.
Janus. We're looking to fight. Yeah, we're looking to fight.
Janus
Look for-
going into
look for
left.
Jan-
Janus going there.
Scylla, look for Janus now.
Be ready to
Alright,
reset it.
No. Taunted him. He beats.
Beats.
Oh, you reset? Oh, man.
Going
I
back,
can't
going
take it.
back.
Don't let me tank it.
Yeah,
Okay.
the speed's down.
Yeah, they go.
Okay,
What's the
okay.
I have no
Reset
taunt,
it,
I have no
reset
taunt,
it,
I have no
reset it,
reset.
I can't
It's
also
going
go
under.
You hear Titan trying to bait Paradigm in there and find the pick. They were able to successfully get the Geb. They got Lobster's beads as well, but having some trouble juggling the aggro here. Replicos, you heard him saying, I can't take it. And once again, it seems like every time that they get an opportunity there, it ends up hitting the rat and they're forced to fall back. So Titan unable to capitalize off of a positional
Yeah, they've
advantage.
been creating some really good control in the last few minutes of this game. They've had some stuff in mind. This Athena has been going around everywhere, taunting all the right targets, getting beads from everyone, and they've been creating some really good pressure here.
One of the things that I really liked hearing in those comms.
Taunt down. Taunt missed here. This is going to be a re-engage, definitely from Paradigm. At least try to force them off.
Oh,
Cat's
yeah.
done. It's going to hit
There it
Confrey.
is.
Confrey going to be an unhappy camper now as the slow comes through as well. The rat doing some damage, but Zalia, well, he's Sun Wukong, and he fears no man. Jigabang over the top. Confrey is dead. Athena ultimate used to get out toward the right side. That's now no ultimate from her either to re-engage here. You can see Trixnix spinning up just over on the side of the wall, looking for someone to turn the corner. But with that, it appears Paradigm has secured themselves the Gold Fury at 23 minutes and 45 seconds.
You do have some, well, nobody's lurking. Those are Paradigm members that are lurking in the jungle. These days, without the support needed, I mean, the support doesn't have the execute on Hog anymore, and the damage that a Geb is going to do to a Gold Tree isn't really that much. So you can afford to just shove your support out and essentially play goalie, prevent anybody from coming in and sort of looking at the objective you're trying to get.
And one hit here on this tier 1 mid as well. That's going to go down nice and easy to Funballer, and a great influx of gold coming to the side of Paradigm here. You mentioned, Hog no longer having that execute, and it's funny because we almost always have support players here on the desk with us, but with a Hunter player here, Reels, I do want to ask you kind of, what do you think? Are you liking it more or less now that there's not that guaranteed secure on the support specifically?
Well, when we lose it,
Yeah.
I like it less. But when, like in the Amusen Cab game today, for example, when you get it,
the
it's
Chronos
great.
in hand.
Yeah, no, I really like it, honestly. When you're ahead, it gives the winning team much more of a chance just to take it for free, But
Yeah.
now, it gives the losing team more of a chance to get into the game, So I prefer it personally.
Yeah, and we were kind of speculating yesterday that, the meta is so immature still as all these changes have come through that I think there's still probably a pretty good case for it.
Yeah.
Especially, if you take the high power mage ultimate and you can pair it with that 1,000 true damage. But here comes Kali, and Kali's got items, and Kali's ready to rumble. Shell comes out to help her, but you see just how limited the HP pool is for this god. However, taking a look at her itemization, Fatalis Oboe done, and now moving into what is likely a Titan's Bane, maybe a Jotun's Wrath coming her way.
Most likely the Titan's Bane. We've discussed just how well, Kali does fantastic with penetration, but we've discussed earlier in the pregame show, I believe.
Here we go. Confrey going to try to play with Funballer. He's going to avoid it and get the solo kill onto Confrey. Going to try to run him down as Confrey life, but not with Trix Tank in the wings there. And the Geb Shield's going to save him even from the Neath Arrow. No,
Nope.
It's just going to be the old
It is
big
the
boy
Geb
Geb. But here they
Shield.
come, trying to make the play nonetheless. Geb Shield is still there. The banish is good. No one going to be able to close the distance here. Giannis may be able to get at least one Unstable Vortex, but no, he can't get there either. And now Zalia continues to bully Ataraxia out
This is
of
the
this
kind
lane.
of pressure he should have had in the other Frey game versus Medusa.
Right. Yeah. Should have been able to kind of abuse that ultimate anytime that Medusa looks to, because Medusa basically her DPS drops to 0 while she channels that ultimate.
Yep.
And so if you can get a couple extra pot shots and then pop up into the sky and avoid the stun, you'd come out way ahead on the DPS charts.
Yeah. You got that little bit behind, and when you get that tiny bit behind with Freya.
Oh no.
Leave me in line on this.
Yeah, look at old Zalia here. showing us a Shield of the Underworld Nemean Lion reflect all the damage build.
Nobody better look at that monkey.
He's going to be a problem.
I mean, you already can't hit him, and
Right.
now he's got Jotun's Wrath, and he's going to get the Shifter Shield actually F'd out. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, well, just another win in my life of a commentator.
There you
What
go.
did you say before?
Something like that. Something even more pretentious somehow. That's probably what I said. But yeah, you can't ever fight him. Like,
Right, it's
Nemean
intense.
Lion, Underworld, the Reflect there. He's already too tanky to bother wasting any CC on.
If God forbid you bring him low enough, he's just going to crit you in the face with all that power.
Or in a crazy alternate universe, he goes Void Stone. Because guess what? AoE pen's pretty good when you have a Kali on your team.
Right, yeah. I mean, that is not a bad choice. I'm thinking about it. Void Shield would be fantastic here. It's a very, very rare to see it picked up, so we might see it if this game goes any longer. Or 27 minutes in, 6 all, and Titan down by only 2,000. And the momentum really shifting both ways.
Yeah, I mean, they've been sliding downhill since that Gold Fury. I mean, they stayed there too long. They got a pick on the Geb, and then they tried to bait in the Gold Fury, and they just stayed there way too long.
Yeah.
They was baiting it for too long. The Geb respawned, come back, and they pushed him out, and then, yeah, ended up getting a kill. They killed the Medusa and got the Gold Fury from it, so...
The good news for Titan here is that the big gold deficit isn't in that jungle position. Right? Ratatask's still going to be capable of killing the Kali. The 2,000 gold is actually mostly on the Athena Medusa versus the dual end Geb and Freya.
Yeah.
And they don't have the same kind of, ultimately, the carry potential that Kali would if Ratatasker was having
I
a
just
tough
feel like
game.
this Sun Wukong is going to be an absolute nightmare for their lineup.
Yeah, I think the Titan's kind of barely hanging in on to this one right now, keeping it close, and that when Sun Wukong decides that it's time to 5-man and fight, they have very little that they can do to keep him out. I mean, basically, if they don't hit the Scylla route
Yeah.
on him, right, like they need to use like one of their not high priority CCs, which is going to be either the Neath route or the Scylla route to kind of hold him out. They can't afford to use the taunt on him, or the team is just going to get wiped.
Yeah. And the thing is, Zayla's a great Sun Wukong player. He's not going to let their AD carries do anything in these team fights. You know, he's going to be on them in these team fights, completely shutting them down. And then you've got Fumble, 4-on-1, doing great for himself. He's got loads of items online. He's absolutely chunking. So
I'm a
he's
little surprised to not see like an enfeebling curse on the side of Paradigm here with those two hunters and a Ratatasker just like nuke that attack speed down to
I
nothing.
mean, if you have a look at Atarax's build, he's not even building attack speed here. He's gone for a penetration build, actually.
Yeah, almost all entirely penetration.
Yeah.
It's trying to do anything against Sun Wukong, I think.
Yeah, I mean...
He wants the hard-hitting arrow. He wants the hard-hitting ultimate. And right now, hard-hitting is exactly what Paradigm's looking to do. Kanye Life turned around. He's getting chunked down. Funball with one on his kill column. Now in comes the Rat, getting very aggressive, but he's surrounded by red jerseys. Kali is here, and that's enough to send Titan packing 6-7 as Paradigm picks up that another kill.
We saw Neath ultimate fired on the Lobster there and took almost half his HP with that build that he's amassed.
That's exactly what I was talking about with the
More
pen,
that
yeah.
ability damage, but Gold Fury started up here from Paradigm as well. Titan maybe going to try to press this sledge. Take a listen in with Titan's comms as they initiate. Replicas is in.
That's ulti, that's ulti, that's ulti.
Bug,
Freya
bug.
ulti.
Shield of the Underworld.
I'm up in 10, I'm up in 10. You stay alive.
Jumping
Stay
out,
alive.
jumping out.
I can ulti in 5. I can ulti out, they're gone, Nate, go back. Nate.
Okay, wait. Sniping 10.
Do you
don't-
have blink or something?
Yeah, I do. It's
Yeah, go. Can you do it?
Yeah,
Percentage?
ready.
Yeah.
Go.
They're still pretty high.
Taunt it. That's
Nice.
Freya dead.
Kali in the back.
Kali in the back. All on Kali. All on Kali. All on Kali.
I need pill.
Get Kali,
Trying to peel. Get it cut.
Kali, guys.
Nice.
Can I say I got a taunt? Maybe push it to mid tower.
So, go.
I don't know if we can do gold.
I
You
need
wanna-
to... I don't have any life still in my 2, so I need
Okay.
to use that in the wave.
I mean, is Janus ulti up?
Maybe a little premature right there for the Gold Fury call coming out from Paradigm. Just looked like they bit off more than they could chew.
I really don't think they expected that blinking from the Neath there. No. That was a bit wild. Worked out perfectly, though.
Yeah, you heard it. They're at, do you have blink? Like, you have blink for some reason? He's like, yeah, I got it. Great. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just so hyperactive. That'll... Oh, no. We still don't have it on Confrey. I'm waiting for the pen to blink. I want 5 members of the team with blink to just come in as we see the lit crits on the back of that Medusa.
Shifter Shield was completed. Today is not the day for the Void Stone.
Not
Or
yet.
the Void Shield, I guess, as it were. Someday we'll see a Void Shield again in competitive play.
But you see again this game as well, the Geb shields are giving them so
Tricks.
much room for counter initiation. You know, they go in, they taunt against a Geb shield, and they reinitiate off it.
Yeah, I'd say there's no question that Trix Tank is the difference between wins and losses in this matchup. I mean, he is by far my most valuable player in this set has been Trixtank. Trixtank is specifically paired with Geb, and I think it's maybe, you know, if Titan ends up losing this game, they got to look back and say, we really should have banned Geb in those 2 games that we didn't ban Geb.
Canny Life been playing a fantastic.
As soon as Funball lands, he's going to get stunned out, and smartly, you know, he'll find his safety in his own jungle.
You can see Titan really wants to take this Gold Fury. They know how important it is for them to kind of pull ahead and get something going here before the next 5 to 10 minutes, because Kali she's hitting for true damage pretty soon. And already has, you know, 2 big in-hand proccing items in the oboe and the chin size, and can kind of go into whatever she wants. And after this, maybe a Magi's Blessing has been very popular here.
The taunt
shield, the Underworld used, Cat Stun as well. Kanye taking a lot, but over the top of the monster, a second one there, and a triple kill.
3.
No! Funball are going to take that one away. Repicos going to get a kill as well. Lobster, he's the only one left, and he will go down as a deicide and a full wipe with a double kill and a triple kill. Titan, they finally got what they needed, and they're going to fall back, and they're going to be going for this Fire Giant. You can be very certain of that.
That's the pretty prime. That's the pretty prime.
That's
Only
how fast it can happen.
Yeah.
Kali's really cool. She's immune to death, but except for when you get hit for 1,000 damage while you're CC'd.
I mean, she also has 4 arms, but it's not really helping her out here.
No, sir isn't.
Sensational play from Titan there. Their team fight was perfect. They're hitting them armor monsters in that kind of situation.
Yeah.
Was awesome. I don't even think the Kali actually got her ultimate off.
No,
there.
she didn't. No, she didn't.
You gotta actually hit that button. But I mean, I'm minimizing it here. But when there's that much chaos going on and that much damage coming out from Pretty Prime, you really don't have the warning or the steadfastness to go ahead and hit it. It's really tough.
So Titan wins a big team fight. They'll take the Gold Fury and the Fire Giant, and they'll draw basically dead even once again in gold as this bad boy drops. Experience still going to be in the favor of Titan, but everybody on the field, with the exception of the supports, is level 20 at this point. And we're looking at a dead even game, my friends, as the Gold Fury goes down at 33 minutes 30, but still advantage to Kali in an even game past 30 minutes.
That's a great graph, Bart. This is the Smite that I like to see. I like to see back and forth, tug of war. I like to see one team come out during the early game, mid-game being traded off, objectives, team fights. This is really what we're here for.
I like
here
to
in
see
the
hot
semifinals.
plays.
Like hot plays?
Yeah.
I mean, QFred must be kicking himself after that, though. He must be. I mean, he's got the ultimate maxed out, so what was it, 5 seconds of immunity?
Yeah, quite a
and
bit.
they were fairly low. I mean, if he got that ult off, he could have...
He could have wiped the team.
definitely cleaned that
Well,
up, yeah.
that's the thing. That's the thing with these lineups. Pretty Prime can do what he just did, but Cuvo Fred can do the same exact thing with his build right now. He can chew right through the lineup if given the opportunity. It's a very large if. Very large if.
You know, if you're going to be itemizing a Fatalis anyway, I'm a little bit surprised to see him go for the blink over the sprint, just because, I mean, sprint 3 with Fatalis is old sprint.
Right.
So it seems like it should be pretty good here, and like really how much use... I mean, Kali is kind of weird, right? Because she's like this single target dot-based hyper carry super diver
Yeah.
with a weird AoE stun. Right, you know, so it's like, you can see the synergy, obviously, blink forward AoE stun is good,
Yes.
you know, no matter how you slice it, but do you really want your Kali in that position? Probably not more often than not, but QFred, he's much better at this game than I am. I'll maybe be mind blink on my Kali now.
For me, other than Replicast, Canyon Life has been doing an amazing job this game. Normally, when you go in with Athena, you get a taunt, or we got an addition.
Oh, it's a 3-man Cataclysm. Moving forward here, Azalea. Heavenly Agility is using to go right up into the ultimate to try to establish a front line here. Dashing through his Replicas, and he's forced up onto Yggdrasil to leap away. Kali, she's going to blink into the backline now and look for something. QFred goes in on a Pretty Prime, but can he seal the deal? Can he close the distance? Destruction enough, but it's not his target. He's going to heal back up a bit, but down he will go. Keeping the front line, maintain Azalea. 3-man slow, but unable to close the distance now is Paradigm. They find Ataraxia. It's a 2-for-1 trade as Cuvo falls for 2 damage-dealing cores. Mid laner and soul laner down, but can Paradigm capitalize off of this with a push? It's always nice to win a fight or draw even against a Fire Giant wielding team like Titan is at the moment.
That's a good play. 1 for 2, damage dealing cores, as you said, Bart. Cuvo, we can't see his target. I don't know if he can either. We haven't seen him kill a target yet. It's so problematic.
Yeah. Well,
That's a huge part of
this point, though, right? Like, his target doesn't matter. Well, the only player on Titan that matters is Pretty Prime.
Yeah.
Right? You saw there him use everything, including his own life, to get that kill.
Well, I mean, the
It's
Rat
fine.
is secretly doing a lot for them, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, but I mean, the wipes have been due to Pretty Prime. And you can see why you would prioritize that target. That's all I'm getting at here. But yeah, Ratatasker absolutely has been a huge part of this win. Of this game so far for Titan.
All I see is Paradigm right now.
Both fall there, yeah.
Everybody is getting hit or sent up into a tree. Paradigm going to escape. They won't be able to take this left-hand tower by themselves. Maybe their minions will be, but the Giannis ult will send them back home safely.
A little weird that they didn't just take that tier 2. I mean, with the Athena ultimate down, there's not a real chance of them kind of surprise reinitiating there. But play the safe game, why not? There's really no reason for them to force it.
Something spooked them.
Yeah.
The 180 Giannis ult run through it as a team.
I guess Scylla came back up and they're like, we're out.
Yeah.
Dipsties.
Scylla with Blink.
Don't want anything to do with that hair.
Repi done a ton of damage there to keep them off that.
Can we take a look at player damage?
Yeah, we'll see just how much the Rat has been affecting things, and he has been to the tune of 18,000 damage. The closest one is that Sun Wukong.
Yeah, he's like 300 damage ahead of Sun Wukong as your assassin core. Probably more to the credit of Xaylia that he's that close, less than something deficient on Replica's side. He's played very, very well.
Exactly.
Putting him 18,000 player damage is no small feat.
Yeah, as I was saying before, Canyon Life, he's been going in and taunting, and normally a lot of the times you go in and taunt, it gets beads or it gets shielded, and you can go on the Athena off that. You know, he's been getting in, taunting, and getting out with almost full health every time. You know, he's been going in, getting the shields, getting the beads, and getting out with full HP. You know, and then going back in, taunting more people, and he's been in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah, and has only died twice, has 13 assists to his credit, as you mentioned, using that blink to get in and the dash to get back out. And, you know, as I suggested earlier, you know, maybe Confree is who they had to draft around this team, and you see, even with the priority they put on that Medusa Athena pick, still sitting 0-5 and 11. Granted, he's been involved in 11 of the 14 kills. He's been very active, and his farm is only about 900 gold behind the Freya, but still, those 5 deaths, not helping them out.
One of the most interesting things I see is the taunt coming out and 2 people are stuck.
Trick Tank is down, up into the sky, goes Sun Wukong, over the top, he comes crashing down. They want to take down Confree, and they will get it. Athena ultimate expended as well, and she'll go nowhere. QO Fred runs down Confree. QO Fred with Funballer, run down Pretty Prime. They're covering the option for Ratatasker. Ratatasker wants to go 1v1, doesn't matter. Down goes Ataraxia to Lobster. Now the nuts coming through. Aegis is used by Lobster to barely avoid that one. QO Fred, destruction. It's going to get the Rat as well. Now trying to send to Kanye Life. Is it his target? It is! He heals back up, and now it's a deicide for Paradigm. Fire Giant is free, and they may just take the towers and the Phoenix here. They can't decide what they want. It looks like it will be the tower indeed.
That double coming out of the Kali was so important. QO, I don't want to say finally makes a mark, but finally gets the double. Looks so good for him, and what could have been Fire Giant will be a Phoenix. Lobster with the Aegis of the day.
Yeah.
The hottest of hot Aegises.
The spicy Aegis going his way.
Habanero Aegis.
Well, here we go. Paradigm, they're going to push in. They're going to go for the win here. It looks like Kali does a lot of damage. Sun Wukong is here as well. Decoy is tanking it up. Titan is falling. 59%. No one's going to make it back in time. The win is for Paradigm. Paradigm will go to the finals for the first time in the history of their squad.
Oh, Titan, my Titan. The Titan falls, and Paradigm picks one up. They've changed their name, but they haven't changed their game.